80s, so a little more refreshing with partly cloudy skies and lower rain chances.
This watch was covered in blood. It was ruined almost.
Hey, it's 7:44, and today is, it's a grim day. Today marks the 3-year mark, the anniversary of the mass shooting in Virginia Beach.
She called me on the phone at 4:06. She'd probably been shot about 4:05. Said Jason had been shot, called 911.
That's Jason Nixon. You've heard him tell his story over the years here on News 3 years ago today. He lost the love of his life, his wife, the mother of his 3 daughters, Morgan, Madeline, and Mackenzie, all to workplace violence. Kate Nixon was 42 years old. She was a veteran city engineer when she was shot in the shoulder that day by her coworker. 11 other people were killed, and even more heartbreak here. Jason shares this story with us.
Got this feeling he made comments, and I think that he might want to shoot the place up.
Yeah, so what he said is the night before his wife was murdered, she says she confided in him that she wanted to take a gun to work because a disgruntled coworker was about to be fired, and she feared for her life. This morning, as we remember the lives lost, the survivors of this horrific mark on our history, News 3 is looking to find solutions, maybe recognizing toxic workplace environments.
A really important discussion to have today, and that's why we have some experts with us this morning. We are joined by Old Dominion University professor and psychologist Dr. Jason Parker and former Norfolk police officer Rick James. Good morning to you both. Thank you so much, truly, for being part of this important conversation on this anniversary. We have some questions for you in just a moment, but first, let's pull up this screen. According to the CDC, National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, more than 20,000 workers in the private industry experienced workplace violence in 2019. Back in 2018, nearly 500 workers were homicide victims. Now, before we get into preventing and recognizing toxic workplace environments, it's important that we clarify exactly what a toxic workplace environment is. It could have a lot of meaning. So, Dr. Parker, can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, the first thing you're going to notice when you go into a toxic work environment is that there's a lot of turnover in that workplace, as in people are constantly leaving and there's lots of people coming in new. And you will also notice once you come into work, there is an odd silence. Nobody wants to talk about anything. So there's a silence, and the silence is, in some cases, deadly. And from there, you actually will notice a culture of, well, bullying. And we're not talking about bullying like high school bullying, where like people are physical. We're talking about gossip, backstabbing, character assassination, to where they're going after you, okay? And cold shoulders. So there's nobody to talk to or nobody to express to. And so that kind of builds up a culture of silent but retribution, to where they're looking to get back, but in subtle ways. And there's this building of disrespect, a building of distrust, and a building of disengagement, to where, well, people won't communicate with each other and talk about it, but there's just like this air, this aura, this feeling that it's coming in. And people who are there are looking around going, I'm not exactly sure what my job is. But the air, there's like this promotions only from within. They don't bring in outside people. And it's like a crucible that begins to build.
It's an uncomfortable situation.
Yes.
For sure. Rick, I want to bring you in. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so what he's talking about is that early recognition, where you have to recognize that there is a crisis afoot. And so you have to take some type of action to prevent any type of assault or injuries. And so law enforcement use what they call retrospective profiling and prospective profiling. You want to operate in prevention mode. Prospective profiling is you trying to recognize those early indicators, and then the most important thing to remember is you have to take some type of action to prevent violence.
Taking that action, taking that step, I think is very important there.
Opening communication and recognizing that there is something wrong. And when you're recognizing that situation, the difficulty is especially if you're like a new employee walking into that situation, since there's silence, you know and you recognize something is wrong, but nobody will communicate. And that is the key, is how do you open up communication? Because communication is where we will get to a solution. Because it turns to violence when people see no other option because they don't have that communication within their office.
So what is your advice in a situation like that? Well, how does somebody open up the lines of communication? Who do they turn to if they might feel a little boxed in? How can they do that?
Compartmentalize. Start with your team, okay? And I say start with your team because every business has, managers, next manager, boss. Leadership always comes from the top, but even if you're at the very lowest level, it is recognizing that what you do with your team and starting communication with your team and talking about the change as in what's going on and how do we change this. You start with the change at the small level or whatever your level is. If you're middle management or upper, you start with the change at that level of increasing communication, being able to get people to say things like, I feel, instead of you. You phrases cause arguments. I feel, I'd like to talk about, actually increases communication. And that's where you have to start talking about that, because we've had communication and you get good communication, you'll never have to hear from the officer over there, because if they had talked first, you would have never ended up there.
Well, yeah, Rick, and I know you've seen the outcome of that.
We do. Again, we want to stay in the prevention mode. So it's important to understand that, dealing with the small problems will spare you of the big ones. And so what you have to do is use this threat assessment, having a strategy to prevent violence, using early recognition like he spoke about, and look at those cues to make sure that you're going to see something that's coming afoot. And then, of course, you have to take some action to resolve the problem. When a law enforcement officer get to a scene, the first thing you want to do is separate any adversaries. And then, of course, you want to listen to them and let them know, listen to their feelings. The important part is to make sure you separate them and then take some action. You want to stay in the prevention mode because